Hello, my friends. A lot of people have inquired about our Elevation online teaching program. There is only a couple days left for applications. We have been very, very pleasantly surprised of how many people from around the world, all different backgrounds, who have been interested about this, have applied. We have already more people than we imagined, or more people than we can fit, but we want to spend a couple extra days. As promised, openings are open until applications are open until December 26th, to inform as many of you as we can about it, to give you the opportunity, if this interests you, if this would help you, empower you as an educator, as a rabbi, a rebbetzin, a therapist, a healer, to have the most powerful models and systems and techniques and tools of transformation, of consciousness, of healing, of accessing transcendent experience, all from Torah sources, heavily, heavily influenced by Chassidic and Kabbalah, as well as Musa and the Gemara and many wonderful places. We want to give 48 more hour, more warning to tell you, to give you a chance to come join us. Number one. And I want to take a couple minutes right now just to explain to you what is the content, what are we doing? There's not many people in the world right now who have access to this wisdom. For sure, many people have Torah and many people understand it, and many people understand the depth of it, but there's so few people that have a systematic, comprehensive understanding of the transformational models of consciousness and how to apply them in real time with real people to see incredible effects in a way that's equal or perhaps even better than most of the other modalities out there in the world, which are coming from the knowledge of an individual or from a more limited system of understanding things, a less comprehensive, a less holistic model. And as you see, we already see thousands of people of learning elevation around the world, how they're saying that no matter other programs they've learned or other systems and modalities, this is much deeper, often more powerful and far more comprehensive. So I don't want to be the only person teaching this. I want to empower all of you to do your jobs better as rabbis, as teachers, as makaravim, as Jewish outreach professionals, to really have the tools and resources to take what you do to the next level and really to meet the generation on what they are most yearning for, which is personal mastery, self-transformation, accessing profound spiritual experiences, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I just want to go through a basic breakdown of what are we actually doing in this course. Well, here's the basic breakdown that I want you to know. When I created a curriculum, how would I take educators or therapists, no matter who they are, and really make them high-level masters to embody a new approach, a new generation of Torah educators to really affect people deeply? So I kind of realize, I'm going to share my screen a little with you right now, that there's kind of two levels that we would need. So the first level is what we're calling the elevation mentor training. And this is, if you will, an introductory level. It's incredibly comprehensive, an introductory level. And this is, we're going to spend 6 months together, plus an extra months for tests and personal integration under our guidance. That's called the Elevation Mentor Training Program. And this is what's kicking off in January. You have 2 more days to apply for that until December 26th. And then we're launching. And that's an incredible program. I'm going to break that down for you right now. What are its contents? What's actually on the curriculum? What we'll be learning together. From that, then I'm willing to take for a whole year program by invitation only for the Elevation Mishpia training program. And that's, you're going to be working very, very personally in depth with me. It's only going to be for very few people. And they're people that I believe that could be leaders, real leaders in the next generation of Torah education, and become really embodied masters of the teachings in a deep personal way that transform their lives and really take them much, much deeper in giving them the foot in the door of opportunities to lead in elevation in our seminars and our retreats, and lots of other activities that we have planned to unleash in the next couple of years. So that's the Elevation Mishpia training. So the teacher training is really open to everybody with elevation. Mentor training, where I'm going to break that down, what happens there. And then for a few select individuals, they'll be able to invite it to level 2 for Elevation Mishpia training. Now, what happens in our upcoming 6-month program? Glad you asked. So it looks a little something like this. There's 7 units over 6 months. Okay, so here goes like this. Unit number 1 is basically a very simple webinar to welcome everybody, to meet everyone's in the group, and I'm going to break down who we are and what we're doing. The unit 2 is about 2 webinars and a bunch of masterclass videos. This is called The Soul of Elevation: Historical, Generational, Psychological, and Philosophical. We're going to understand why, according to Torah, do we need to transform ourselves? Why we've been created broken anyway? What is the meaning of life? And why do human beings desire spiritual experience? Why do we have these blocks and these challenges in our life that create the blocks? Why can't I focus as much as I want? Why can't I love as deeply as I feel that I want? What is it about a spiritual experience that's so transformative? And understand the idea of Tselem Elokim, understand the Tachlis Acham, the image of God. What is this model we've been created in? And to give us a strong basis of why we do this work. And then we're going to take an incredible look at human history from the Zohar's perspective, from the Baal Shem Tov's perspective, from the Ari HaKadosh's perspective, to understand what is happening specifically in our generation, what is happening in the world right now in 2019, transitioning to 2020, that makes these teachings, Torah teachings, Kabbalistic teachings, Chassidic teachings on personal transformation, the most critical Torah wisdom of our generation. And I'm going to bring you incredible sources that many of you will never have seen before. We're going to explore what's happening today in science, what's happening today in the personal transformation world, in the New Age world, what's happening within Torah order predictions. You're going to see how it comes together. That's really the foundation that to become an elevation educator that you're going to have to be empowered with. You're going to have to explain to people why this is important and why it's important now. And it's kind of some epic classes and journeys we're going to go on together. Unit 3 is essential elevation concepts, right? We're going to drill you, whether you've heard these ideas before, whether you've not heard these ideas from me. The Elevation Mentors program is open to everybody. And the core is, I want you to know and be drilled on one of the 11 dimensions of Das, what are the 7 core faculties of human consciousness, what are the 9 essential elements and mechanisms that take place in all of spiritual experiences. There's around 40 words, and we're going to key words. If you understand those 40 words, you understand consciousness, you understand self-transformation, you understand the models and systems by which they take place, and you understand the system behind the systems. That's what Torah is. Whatever modality you study, this is going to be a system that opens up those modalities to a much deeper level. And if you're familiar with Hebrew and you've studied these texts before, so we're going to give you incredible definitions that you are familiar with the language. If you've not studied Hebrew before, so these are incredible definitions, and we're going to make you write your own dictionary of these 40 words and their concepts. And you're going to have this in your hand clearly and be incredibly eloquent with all the fundamental ideas of consciousness and the models of all spiritual development. Great. So you're going to have that under your belt. Unit 4 is the heart of our program, is the heart of the Elevation Mentor Training Program, mastering 10 foundational Jewish meditations. There's so many meditations. There's really hundreds, and in our online program, our seminars and retreats, we teach literally hundreds of meditations. We developed quite the toolkit over the years. But I want to break down 10 foundational meditation techniques that you can get a person to overcome their emotional issues in a second, that you can tell any individual from any background how to access their soul, get divine insight, have a transcendent experience, master their concentration, release their blocks and their history. I want you to know what the sources are. I want you to be able to explain it eloquently and simply. I want you to be able to take people through it fast, and you know who they are and how to get them into that state. And we're going to go through 10. There's many, many more, but I believe if you get these 10 down, they will unlock many more for you in the years to come. So that's going to be an unbelievable tool. Imagine if you as an educator could right now, tomorrow, walk into a room with 30 people, 150 people, and know that you can give them the deepest experience of Dveikus, the deepest contact with their soul, and give them the transformation that they're often seeking in every kind of path other than their own tradition. And you could give that to them in a moment. And as a therapist, it's really incredible. As a person seeking physical healing, it's really, truly miraculous, without any hyperbole, to see what effects happens to a person when you go and put a person suffering from pain or illness in that state. I have many stories to tell, things I've even seen the last few weeks, but we will leave that for the program. Unit number 5, we have emotional blocks, healings, and breakthroughs. You may have seen me work with people one-on-one in seminars. You may have been in the online program, see me do that work there. People always like, what are you doing and how did you know to do that? And why didn't you use that other technique? So I'm going to show you a bunch of personal breakthroughs that you'll see me guiding people through. Then I'm going to do a commentary over them with you live and dissect them and explain to you what I'm doing and why I'm making the decisions that I'm making. Then I'm going to empower you to work together in groups to test that and trial that on many of the people. I'm going to give you the Makoros, the sources, so you learn inside in Hebrew with beautiful English translations. And while in the Mishpia program, the next program, we're going to go into that comprehensively. It's a whole much more deeper, it takes a lot more work and understanding of your own inner world to really do that work successfully on a consistent basis. So really for the 1-year program, we're going to spend a lot of time doing that. Here, I want you to give you the ABCs of that work. So basic level things you'll be able to do, and that'll be a fantastic introduction. You'll be amazed at how far you can get with people, helping them, even just doing a few sessions together. Wonderful. After that, we have number 6. We have teaching elevation in the real world. So this is I'm going to break down a bunch of things for you. Here's a nice little pictures I have over here. Some of the subjects we're going to cover in Unit 6 are teaching elevations tools to children and in schools. We already have some outstanding educators who have taught this in religious schools and secular schools. I'm going to bring them in, let them tell you their stories and their breakthroughs in bringing this to children and how they broke down curriculums. I don't care whether this is not relevant. You don't work with children, you work with adults or whatever, however you define yourself. But what I want you to know is that that when you understand how to reach a broad range of people, it opens up many possibilities in creativity and understanding of consciousness, etc. And teaching children is a wonderful way. And I did this with all of my children. They all learn what we call the Vodas, meditations, and practice literally every day. And it's really opened up worlds for them. And I want that within your repertoire as well. So there's elevation tools of healing physical illness. From a Kabbalistic and scientific perspective, this is all in Unit 6, but we have some doctors and scientists coming in to explain the parallels between Torah and between consciousness and between science to understand how physical healing is possible through a shift of consciousness to accessing Das and Devekas, like the Baal Shem Tov says. We're going to go through the 5 most common audience types and their primary needs. I can break down every audience into 5 categories of why they're there. When you know why they're there, then you can meet their needs in the most meaningful and fast way. And I want you to know what they are. So when dealing with every audience, you know who they are, what to deliver, and how to make them maximize your impact. How to best structure classes and presentations for maximum transformational impact is so key. If you watch enough of my classes, I can have very different styles, but there's certain ways that I structure different classes of how I begin, of what I open, of where I have to take them to allow them to be in the state necessary. I'm going to tell you some of my most successful classes and some of my biggest failures of sessions, which are also absolutely fundamental to learn from. And I want you to have that as well, to empower you to step in what you're going to step into with confidence. Great. We're going to do something which I'm particularly excited about, deconstructing secular modalities from a Kabbalistic perspective, whether they're psychological modalities like EFT, EMDR, those kind of things, or whether they're seen as New Age. I guess EFT could also be seen as New Age. EFT, hypnosis, IFS and parts work, law of attraction, mindfulness, energy healing, Akashic records. There's many different modalities which we're going to break down, explain how are these described in a secular sense? How does Torah describe them? Well, we're going to do a birurim, which parts are work and effective, which parts can we do better from a Torah perspective, and anybody's had any experience in any other modality or meditational, we're going to get the group to share them, and I'm going to show you how to deconstruct them. Not only so you are eloquent as an educator about the experiences that your students will come to you with. So you say, oh, Vipassana, I know how that technique works, and I can show you how to do it better or stronger, etc. That's number one, is that you are educated and that you're not afraid of these modalities, and you're empowered to show your students how to do them even better, give them an upgrade. We're going to show you something very, very key, how to open blocked people don't appear to be affected by the meditations. Thank God over the years, we really refined the process of impacting, 95% of a room, the technique, but there's always people that consider themselves blocked or appeared blocked. They can't open up to the meditation. They can't get that feeling. They're not seeing the light. And there's a bunch of tools that you can learn. Some take longer, which I can't do in an introductory program. But even in one session, I'm going to give you some tools and resources of what you need to do with those people to get them to the level where they can. And as much as you give a gift to people, I find that the greater responsibility you have when you walk into a room with 500 people and you open them up and people stand up and cry and they have breakthrough, literally life-changing experiences. I feel terrible because I know that there's there's 5 people in that room who will be sitting there going, not only did it not work, look how it works for everyone else. And then they go into this kind of psychological freefall of, it's never going to work for me. I'm so blocked. I'm so broken. So I believe there's a responsibility of real educators that we know how to help and to catch and offer resources for those people as well. So we're going to discuss even a little how to create transformative to feel experiences for Torah Jews. This is a key part of the program. There's a lot of Jews that pray every day, and we want that to become meaningful and show them some of those, the basic techniques that you can apply to prayer, to the Sabbath, to Shabbat, and these kind of things. How your state of consciousness when teaching or facilitating affects the class and the breakthroughs. It would be lax of me not to get this point in to the course. This is something we, in the advanced program, the Mashpir program, that I will spend months on, because this is the core. But absolutely, when you're teaching consciousness, your consciousness, the state you are in affects other people more than the words, and absolutely more than the techniques. And we're going to give some introductory tips on that from the Baal Shem Tov, from Rabbi Nachman, from Chazal, and some other incredible sources. Some of the foundational Jewish meditations we're teaching Yeshiva Das, because the Machshava, Makava, his Kashrus, the Vekas, Hashkata, the Shilav of the name, the empath techniques from Torah, which are many people seeking spiritual teachings. Experiential teachings are often emotionally, energetically extra sensitive, and you can give them tools to stop energy depletion or create boundaries, healthy boundaries, so they don't absorb other people's pain or suffering. It's very, very important, very powerful. Hishtav and his bodedus. If you don't know what these words mean, well, you better do the program, because it's time you found out, my friends, because these are 10 incredible techniques that really do, it's such a cliche to say, change lives. Each of these is a certain new paradigm of how consciousness works and what consciousness can do, what humanity to do. So going back, that's teaching elevation in the real world. That's just one of the units, right? And then 7 is, at the end of our 6-month program, we're going to create a month for personal ownership of these teachings. And I'm going to drill you with 7 missions. And the 7 missions you may find overwhelming, but they will transform it. We're going to get you to be teaching other people in your own communities. We're going to get you to work one-on-one with individuals. We're going to get you to write your personal elevation dictionary and present it to a group. We're going to get you to be teaching meditations to the whole of the group and practice, and a bunch of other fun tasks as well, and write a couple of essays. So you can really speak eloquently and own these teachings for yourself and for others. This is an incredible opportunity. I don't believe there's ever been anything like this before. And I hope there will be something like this again, because this is just a trial program. And therefore, we're charging a real minimum rate for the first people that join, the first cohort. And I want you to consider, you have 48 hours to sign up. If you want to learn more and you want to learn more and you want to sign up, please go to teachelevation.com, teachelevation.com right now. Applications close on the 26th. I believe that's a Thursday night. That's this Thursday night, the 26th of December. Last applications are in. We have very, very limited scholarships if people need some form of subsidy. So you're welcome to be in contact about that there. If you have any questions, you can also send those questions to teachertraining@elevationproject.com. Do not send them to me personally. I just work here. Teachertraining@elevationproject.com. I'm excited to learn with you. I'm excited to grow with you, and I'm excited to change the generation with you. This is Doniel Katz from the Elevation Project. You only know elevation in your lives. Over and out.